Hello, welcome back to another video. It has been a really long time since I've sat down and filmed anything. So things have been pretty hectic because we moved out in July and before that we were doing the place up, decorating and stuff. Also, any strange noises you're going to hear, it's either the washing machine or Julian, my kitten. If he comes up I'll introduce him, and if he's just going to play I'll just leave him. Anyway, you can probably tell from the title, this video is going to be about Suicide Prevention Month, which is every September if you didn't know. And if you know anything about me, you'll know why this is so important. Firstly, I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience. So my whole life I've struggled with mental health conditions, some of which include anxiety, depression and OCD. Now if you know anything about those conditions, you know why they're really hard to deal with and often leave people feeling suicidal. The same feeling that I get now of the pit in my stomach is exactly the same as when I was 5-6 years old, which is crazy to think that I was so little and dealing with such big emotions. But anywho, we're not talking about that specific part right now. So I first attempted suicide at 11 years old, which in hindsight now as a 24-year-old is insane. It's insane to think that I felt such big emotions when I was so little. And from when I first attempted suicide until I was 19 years old, it was pretty consistent that I attempted suicide. I feel like that was a really weird way of saying it, but basically from 11-year-old till 19 years old, I attempted suicide a lot. I just had this real belief that I was only put here to do one thing, and I'd already done that one thing, and I didn't have a purpose anymore, so I didn't need to be here, and I was only causing hurt by still being here. And that's why I felt that way at such a young age. I just felt like everybody would be better off without me because I hurt them so much, and I also felt like I was never going to be fixable. I didn't think I would ever be fixed, which is a terrible way to put that, but that's just how I felt. So the last time I attempted suicide at 19 years old, it didn't work and I felt so frustrated, and I just kind of had this epiphany moment of realising that if I was putting so much work in to try and not be here, and every time it didn't work, maybe there was a reason that I was still here, and maybe I should put just as much effort, if not more, into trying to be better and going to therapy and seeing what life could offer on the better side of things. And that's how I started my whole journey into getting a proper diagnosis and going to therapy multiple times. So if you didn't know, feeling suicidal is often due to feeling a lack of control in your own life and having very little to no self-worth. If you think about each thing separately, so feeling like you don't have control of your own life, that's going to make you feel really uncomfortable and upset, and well, it's just going to make you feel like you don't even get to make any decisions for yourself. And when you feel out of control of things, it often leads to emotions that are uncontrollable. And as for little to no self-worth, if you don't value yourself at all, then you also don't value your life, and you're never going to make any meaningful connections or decisions for yourself. And I can see how that also leads to feeling suicidal. One piece of advice I would give you if you were feeling suicidal is to really take note of who you're around and who you're spending your time with, because who we spend our time with plays a much bigger role in how we feel about our life and ourselves than you realise. I first started doing this thing where I would take note of out of 10 how I felt before seeing someone, and then after seeing them I would give it a score out of 10 for how I felt. If I felt worse after seeing that person, I would limit how much I saw them, and that makes a massive difference. If you can hear this weird scratching noise, that's because I'm trying to distract the cat from climbing the tripod. So yeah, I feel like I've just explained that one quite well, but I would definitely cut negative people out of your life because they are playing a much bigger role in how you feel about yourself than you think they are. The next part, you need to work on yourself for you. Not for anybody else, not to prove it to anybody else, but for you, so that you feel better, so that you feel like it's your life again. And at 19, when the last suicide attempt for me didn't work, that's how I ended up feeling. Like I wanted to better things for myself, not for anybody else. And lastly, be proud of yourself. If you're still here and you've felt suicidal and you've attempted suicide and you've considered not being here, be proud of yourself that you're still here, because it's so hard to continue when you just don't care and you don't want to. And just give yourself a chance and give working on yourself an opportunity to work, because if you have always just not really felt like much and you've not really given yourself much of a chance, why not give yourself a chance, if that makes sense? And I just really want to emphasise that you are worth it and your life matters. It really does matter. And if it doesn't matter to anybody else that you know right now, first of all, you'll meet people that it does matter to and that you make a difference to. But above that, it should matter to you, and you should work on yourself that so much so that you get to a point that it does matter to you. Because 9 times out of 10, the people who suffer the most are the people who care so deeply about everybody around them and have just never given themselves that same level of compassion. And I urge you to do that. I just want to take a minute to think of all the people that have lost that battle and have died from suicide, because my heart really does just go out to them people, because it's horrible. It's horrible to feel like that, and it's horrible to think that they never got a chance to really give life a go. And if you're still watching this video and you've been there and you've attempted suicide before, I want to say to you that I'm very proud of you for still being here, and I really hope life is working out for you right now, and I hope that you're feeling much better and that you found what works for you, that you found a job that works for you, or you found a career that works for you, or you found just your passion in life. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you go to sleep tonight, make sure that you message the people you love and tell them that you love them. And also, if you know anyone who's struggling right now, reach out and let them know that you're there. Bye!